I'll use my voice.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
scoot that podium over and get between those slides. You'll look better. All right, I'm just kidding with you.
First off, let me begin by saying thank you to Rachel and this organization. You're definitely doing a great thing for not only Southwest Jefferson County, but for Jefferson County, Louisville, and the state as a whole. A lot of good comes out of this organization because what it does is it allows people of a like mind to get together, to commune, to share ideas, and to help foster not only a sense of camaraderie, but to then take it back to their homes and spread the conservative message. That's extremely important, especially in this day and age. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Payne. I'm running for Kentucky House of Representatives out here in District 28. I'm a lifelong resident. I've lived out here all of my 44 years. I graduated Valley High School in 1990. Graduated from Sullivan College with a degree, with 2 degrees in architectural design as well as mechanical design, and studied political science at the University of Louisville. I spent 13 years at UPS in their engineering department, in their corporate headquarters, and I currently hold a position as director of engineering for a local material handling firm. I've lived out here, like I said, my entire life. I've raised my family out here. My lovely wife, Amy, is in attendance tonight. Give it up for Amy. She is my greatest supporter, and she keeps me grounded. It helps me through all the dark days that campaigns sometimes have. Our campaign is basically about a new direction for a better Kentucky. We believe that by providing real-world opportunities, by providing real economic growth, educational opportunities, and the protection of individual freedoms, we can usher in a brighter day for the entire Commonwealth. Okay? It's not just about conservative versus liberal. It's not just about Democrat versus Republican. It's about all Kentuckians. And we believe that this message will transcend not only party lines, but also ideological lines because of this message. For the past 90 years, over 90 years, the Democratic Party has controlled the Kentucky House of Representatives. Think about that for a second. 90 years. I would venture to say no one in this room has lived a day of their life without the Democrats in control of the Kentucky House of Representatives. Unless, is Charlie Miller here? Okay. Okay. So, nobody in this room has lived a day of their life without the Democratic Party controlling the House of Representatives. Let me ask you this. Where has it gotten us? Nowhere. It has gotten us nowhere. Absolutely. We have not seen, we're experiencing stagnant economic growth, and that's due to punitive taxes. It's due to a system that penalizes success, and it creates an environment in which businesses don't want to move to the state, and they don't want to invest in the businesses that are already here. Okay? It's also gotten us poorly performing schools. Kentucky ranks 47th in the nation in educational attainment. Our kids, once they get out of high school, they don't possess the tools that they need to succeed in college. A lot of them go to school, go to college. They get saddled with a lot of tuition debt, a lot of student loan debt, and they find halfway through they become frustrated because they don't have the tools to succeed. They haven't been given the tools by the educators in the state to succeed. And we also see, due to the Democratic control of the House of Representatives, our individual liberties under attack every day. Whether it be our religious freedom, our right, our Second Amendment right to protect ourselves, our property, and our family. And we're also constantly attacked through the device of political correctness. The truth is constantly bludgeoned away, and political correctness is used as a club to help destroy the truth. We have to take the state in a new direction because of issues like this. So what does this new direction for Kentucky look like, and how do we get there? The first thing we have to do is we have to develop a program for real economic growth. Not fudge numbers from from Frankfurt, not fudge numbers from Washington. We need real economic growth. We need tangible results for our citizens and our constituents so that they actually feel that they are able to make a living and provide for their families. The southwest Jefferson County area has been plagued for decades with stagnant or even negative economic growth for a whole host of reasons. The tax code. The tax code is one of the main reasons we have these problems that we have today. We see a tax code that, again, is punitive. It punishes success and rewards those who consume more than they produce. Okay? We can no longer allow a system like this to exist, because the longer it exists, the more entrenched it becomes and the more dangerous it becomes, and the less people want to work. It's a simple function of economics and capitalism versus socialism. So we have to reform the tax code. We've also got to figure out a way to reform our tax code, as well as continue to invest in vital infrastructure that is important to the growth of Kentucky. Now, we are very fortunate in two aspects. Okay, we have I-65. I-65 is the most heavily traveled industrial corridor in the United States of America. Raw materials are produced up north, they travel down south to the manufacturing centers, and then they return again up north to the Midwest, to the Middle South, the Jefferson or the Louisville, Memphis axis, to be shipped out. That's our other major asset. We have the world's largest distribution center in the world, sitting about 6 or 8 miles away on Stanford Field, the UPS World Port Distribution Center. We have to provide a conduit through which these goods and services can flow. So we have to continue to invest in our infrastructure. We need to create a system of highways that are adequate heavy haul routes, so that we can basically build these smaller communities up, allow manufacturing to take root, allow distribution centers to take root in these small areas, and then use these new improved arteries of commerce to get the goods to these distribution centers. So those are things that we need to do in regards to economic growth. Okay? But we also, in order to attract more businesses, we have to engage in workforce development. Okay? And that takes the form of education. Our education system, our public education system in the state, and especially in Jefferson County, is in an abysmal state. Okay? We have teachers who are unable to teach because their hands are tied by school boards that are dominated by liberals who are more concerned with social justice and social engineering than they are about educating our children. We've got to get more conservatives on the school board, but we've also got to institute policies that are going to allow conservative principles, American principles, to be taught in our schools. Okay, every day, if I was to walk into a school tomorrow and start talking about the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or freedom, there's a good chance that I would be called any number of names that you could think of, and probably be ushered out the front door by security, if not police. Okay? So we have to take a stand. We have to stand up for education reform. So what do we do for that? Well, the first step is we have to allow more science, engineering, technology, and mathematics professionals into our schools. For 40 or 50 years now, the private school system in this state has allowed degreed individuals who don't possess a degree in education, but possess degrees in physics, chemistry, mathematics, computer technology, to teach their kids. And it has been a resounding success. You can't go to the Jefferson County Public School System right now and get a job unless you have a degree in education. So what does that do? Well, that just reinforces the leadership that we discussed a second ago, the liberal leadership who runs the school boards, runs the teachers' unions, because they're all the same mindset. Now, that's not an attack on teachers. Okay, I'm a teacher. I teach at Sullivan University 2, 3, sometimes even 4 nights a week. And I understand that teachers have the hardest job in the world. But we also have to give the opportunity to people who have real-world experience, the opportunity to get into our schools and teach our children. Not just the theory, but the real-world experience that they've gained in the workplace. Okay? Now, the teachers' unions, again, don't want this, because it's going to undermine their ability to maintain their ivory tower. Once that foundation begins to crumble, the whole rotten structure begins to fall down. So that's one thing we have to do. We also have to increase focus on the Kentucky Community College and Technical Education System. Okay? Workforce development is critical if we're going to bring in business. But the thing is, we're not producing enough welders, we're not producing enough engineers, we're not producing enough HVAC technicians, machinists, etc., etc. So we've got to invest in the technical and community college system so that we can provide inexpensive alternatives to the public university system in order to allow our working families and our children the opportunity to become educated. We need to increase the funding for these schools so that we can have more night schools, we can have more weekend classes and more online classes. By giving working families the opportunity to go outside the mainstream and attend some classes that aren't 8 to 4 during the week, we open up a whole host of windows for them and their children so they have a brighter future. Very important. And finally, in regards to education, we have to work to freeze college tuition rates. Dan Symes introduced Senate Bill number 75 the other day, and I'm sad to say that it died in committee. It was a sad, sad statement that the politicians in our state weren't willing to stand up to special interest public university system and say, hold on, the administrations are getting rich on the backs of our children. They're hobbling their future, and they're basically preventing them from doing what anybody goes to school to do, and that's accumulate real wealth. Not make money, but accumulate real wealth. They're saddled with $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 worth of student loans the day they graduate. They can't go out and buy a house. They can't go out and buy a car because for the next 20 years, they're going to be paying $300, $400, $500, $600 a month in student loans. Okay, now the university system will go in and say, you want to major in anthropological studies? Great, no problem, come on in. You'll make thousands and thousands of dollars when you get out. Okay, but the problem is, what they really don't tell them is, yeah, you're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars, $25,000, $30,000, maybe $40,000 with a degree like that unless you go into the advanced side. Okay, so the public university system in the state is the largest practitioner of predatory lending in regards to our youth and our working families in the state today. So we have to work to freeze college tuition rates so that we can begin to reverse this tide, ask them to cut their salaries a little bit, and provide opportunities for working families in Kentucky. The third pillar of the new direction for Kentucky is the protection of individual freedoms. Okay, every day, our religious freedoms are under attack. Okay, no matter what the case may be. If there's a church or a cross on a water tower, if there is a cross in the middle of the road, somebody somewhere is going to find a reason. They're going to go out and search for people to sue to stop this. Okay. Let's face it, if you're a Christian in today's society, you're a target. And while I'm not proposing that we enact legislation that's going to set preferential treatment for one religious group or another, what I am saying is that we have to enact legislation that's going to allow someone to practice the religion, whatever it is, without the fear of losing their business because they won't bake a cake, or becoming a pariah on social media because they happen to disagree with the Supreme Court's definition of marriage, whatever the case may be. We have to stand up and protect our religious freedom, and that's one thing that I will definitely do as your next state representative from the 28th District. The Second Amendment. I'm an avid hunter. I'm an avid shooter. The Second Amendment is very important to me. It allows me to protect my family, and it allows me to protect my property. Every chance the left gets, they are going to wage a direct assault on the Second Amendment. They fear the Second Amendment for a whole host of reasons that we're not going to get into here tonight. But rest assured that as your state representative, I will do everything I can to preserve, protect, and defend your Second Amendment right. There is a 10th Amendment in the Constitution of the United States of America. It has teeth, and from time to time, those teeth have to be shown in order to tell the federal government to back off. So that's one of my big concerns is encroachment of federal power on a whole host of individual liberty positions. Thirdly, political correctness. Okay? Our opponents, the left, the liberals, the socialists, the communists, however you want to term them, the collectivists, are constantly engaged in an ideological battle, a battle of public opinion, in which they use political correctness as a club to crush the truth. And that's the ultimate victim, is the truth. Political correctness is a cancer that's growing on the political discourse of this nation. And as a conservative, and as a group of conservatives, I'm going to ask you to stand up, to begin to resist this fear that the left and our opponents are using to get us to bow down and to basically back away from the fight. Look, they're going to call us names. They're going to call us bigot. They're going to call us racist. They're going to call us homophobe. You know why? Because it works. Because we cower every time those words are brought out. But instead of pulling out the truth as a shield, we run and hide because we don't like those terms. So we have to stand together as a group. And when somebody stands up and says, no, you're a bigot for the way you define marriage, we have to say, no, he's not, or no, she's not, or no, they're not. Because acting as a group, by speaking in large numbers, we can begin to turn the tide of public opinion, and we can begin to undermine this weapon that they use against us to promote their agenda. Okay? Now, those are just some of the policies regarding the new direction for a better Kentucky. But rest assured, the Democrat opponents are not going to sit quietly. They're not going to go quietly into the night. They are going to fight us tooth and nail. Okay? Right now, there's a very, very, very slim majority that the Democrats hold in the last vestige of power that they have in the state government, the House of Representatives. Hopefully, the special elections here in a few weeks are going to turn that tide. If not, it's up to people like me and other people who are running as Republicans to turn the tide or extend the majority. But again, the Democrats are scared because they see their almost century-long grasp on power slowly slipping away. And they're going to fight tooth and nail. They're going to get dirty. They're going to lie. They're going to smear. They're going to throw mud. Okay, so we have to prepare ourselves, not only as a candidate, but as a group of conservatives to stand up and say, no, we have to pull out the truth and stand up for what we believe. Okay? And that's why I need your help. Okay? I'm just one person, and this whole thing is bigger than me. Okay? It's about everybody in this room. It's about your children, it's about your grandchildren, and it's about your nieces and nephews and your whole extended family. It's about all those people out on Dixie highways who are driving home after working 18 hours. It's about all the people who get up at 6 o'clock every morning and go to work 18, 15, 20 hours to provide a better life for their family. Okay? We can stand up and we can do something about all of this. But I can't do it alone. This is not something one person can do. I need your help. I need volunteers for my campaign. I need people to lick envelopes. I need people to go door to door. And I need people to make phone calls. It's a monumental effort. It's a battle. It's a war that we're engaged in against our opponents. And one person cannot weather the storm alone unless he has the support of everybody behind him. I'm asking everybody to put their little interpartisan politics, divisions, and squabbles aside and to unite behind the movement, if you will, because that's what we're engaged in. It's not about Bush. It's not about Trump. It's not about Rubio. It's about the conservative movement. And we owe it to ourselves and our children to unite and to stand up and to no longer bicker and do each other harm. Okay, so we have to stand together and continue to move this whole agenda forward. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to ask for your vote. I want your vote in the May 17th primary because I feel that I'm the best candidate for the job. I know that I can beat Charlie Miller. I've got the resume, I've got the skills, I've got the intellect, and I've got the heart. He may outspend us, and he will outspend us, but he's not going to out-hustle us. Since January 2nd, we've been out knocking on door to door to door already. We've already reached almost 2,000 individual voters, and we're going to continue to go through May 17th and on into November so we can win the general election. So all I'm asking is you come out and support me. Take this message home to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and tell them that there is a brighter future. There is something that we can do as a group and as a community in order to progress our state and to turn back the tide of some of these policies that are stifling growth, that are hurting our education system, and who are undermining our individual freedoms. I'd like to say thanks for letting me come here and speak. Again, Rachel, thank you very much.